Hey guys, it's Yorgi here, bringing you another Project Cars track development video, and this week we are going to be comparing two different builds of the Circuit De Le Sarthe, which is the official Le Mans 24-hour circuit, which has been officially licensed for Project Cars. That was a fairly recent update. So this first clip, we're going to be doing it in two parts. This first clip is of the build back in February. It was recorded on the 14th of February 2014. And we're going to be showing you another clip later on in the video of the latest build on 27th of June 2014. So coming on to the start finish straight, obviously you've got the track, you've got the Armco, you've got grandstands on either side of the circuit, no crowds in them yet, you've got some sponsorship signs, you've got gravel on the outside here, grass on the inside that you can see. You've got some fairly basic track textures going on with some darker patches showing you the racing line and also the braking zones. Obviously the Dunlop bridge, you've got some tree placement here on the right hand side of the circuit. You've got the exterior of the circuit there, and you can also see the motorway that runs alongside this section of the track. You've got tree placement there next to it as well, obviously the exterior terrain. And coming through this right hander on the right hand side of the circuit here, you do have a stadium. You've got some more tree placement as well on the outside of the barriers. We've got another stadium there. You've also got some buildings on both the left and also the right hand side as we come down this Mulsanne Straight, which is also a public road, so you can see, you know, the road markings peeling off to the left and right of the circuit and also rejoining, which kind of gives you that sense of, you know, a real life environment as you come down into this first chicane. We've got tyre walls on both the inside and outside of the track, also blocking the exit road there as well to try and, you know, prevent players from just jumping straight across the chicane. We've got a bit more tree placement coming down here. There's a lot more built up around this area, and as you can see, some more variation of the trees as well. But still coming down this Mulsanne Straight, which is quite a long section. We're coming up to the second chicane now, which also has more tree placement. You've got the tyre walls on the inside preventing you going across the runoff, but you can, you know, dart or skip way through the tyre walls like you can in real life. So coming into a more wooded foresty area now of the circuit. Again, tree placement on either side. Lighting looks quite nice, quite dark shadows around this area, but the lighting wasn't fully 100% finished, and now coming into this fairly tight right hand chicane, but it's looking fairly barren on both the inside and outside on the confines of the track. Some variations in the Armco. We've got some concrete walls that were back there as well. And we're now coming into this next straight that kind of heads down towards Indianapolis. In real life this is actually fairly barren. There isn't an amazing amount of stuff on either side of the circuit coming down here. It's just kind of trees. You get the odd groups of spectators who just kind of stand there in the tree line. And you do see that in the next build as well. So coming into this Indianapolis section as well, I want you to pay attention to how this right hand corner here is, basically how it is around the outside of the circuit, the texture work on both the curves on the inside, on the outside here, and also on the racing line, because that is all very much different in the latest build. It's a lot more detail, and you can actually see all the skid markings and everything else like that, and it's absolutely fantastic. So we're coming into the Porsche curves. These tracks, I do believe, aren't laser scanned. I'm 95% certain that they weren't. Instead, they were recreated from reference photos, and to be honest, some people say that, you know, that could take away from the, you know, the reality of the circuit, of how the cars actually feel. But they've had professional racing drivers drive these circuits, and they say that it feels very good and is fairly accurate to real life. And, you know, actually driving it feels absolutely great. So going back down onto the start finish straight to finish this first clip, and we're now going to cut to the clip of the 27th of June 2014 build, and straight away you can see the difference. The weather conditions and lighting is ever so slightly different, but we'll ignore that. On both the left hand side of the track, we've got crowds, we've got camper vans, Ferris wheel on the left hand side of the circuit there. Some texture work to the circuit, and also on the curbing you can see individual skid markings, a lot darker where the cars constantly run over the circuit. Grandstands full of crowds, You got the engineers pit wall boxes on the right hand side along the pit wall. Much better texture work on the gravel and also on the grass on the left and right hand side of the circuit. More building placement and more tree placement as well through this section. Painted AstroTurf looks absolutely phenomenal. Dunlop Bridge coming over this crest. Exterior terrain is full of life with caravans, crowds on the outside there. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Bollards on the onside here, taken from reference photos. Still got the motorway there coming through this fast right-hander. Tree placement accurate to real life. Stadium on the right hand side. You've got sponsorships on the catch fencing there on the outside of the circuit, and like I said earlier, this is a public road, so you have road signs, you've got houses, you've got other buildings, you've got telegraph poles, much better road markings, and as you can see, the outer parts of this road section here are also painted in a slightly different colour. Into this first chicane, orange cones there, you've got bollards on the inside, more buildings, you got a camera crane there on the left hand side, you got road sign markings again, and more crowds, much more denser foliage with some bushes, much better variation that just really brings the circuit to life, just really hooks you in and gives you a great sense of actually being in a living and breathing circuit. And this is the attention to detail that I absolutely love about this game. Not only is it in the cars on both the exterior and interior, but also in the physics, in the smaller things that you can do in the game. And you know, all the other tracks that are at this stage and also finished or very near completion have this care, this love, this attention to detail that Slightly Mad Studios have been putting into the game, and it is absolutely phenomenal. For instance, this section here is so much more built up than it was before. You've got telegraph poles, more crowds, more buildings, you've got more variations of cars, more tree placement, you've got more tyre walls and everything else like that. Like I said in the previous clip as well, there's not much down this actual straight in the real world. However, they made it a lot more believable with more tree variation. Like I said, you've got the odd spectator here and there, the odd bit of catch fencing, and also marshal posting as well. But just, it breaks up the emptiness and yeah, really immerses you into the game. And like I said as well, paying attention to this part of the section, you can see the buildings on the outside. Coming into the braking zone, you've got skid markings on both the grass and also on the track. Skid markings on the curb, on the curbs, on the exit here, on the AstroTurf, and also onto the grass. The grass looks chewed up, and they do it with the gravel as well. Gravel looks chewed up in places, as if people had actually been racing on this circuit prior to you coming and driving on this track. It really gives that sense of, you know, a living and breathing circuit. It pulls you into the reality of how a circuit actually is, how it evolves over time as people drive over it. Coming through the Porsche curves, this looks absolutely stunning compared to how it was before. So much more detail, and Slightly Mad Studios have done an absolutely fantastic job in recreating these tracks, bringing them to life, and just really giving that sense of a complete package which other games don't bring to their circuits. Yes, their circuits may be laser scanned and be accurate to real life, however there isn't that full vibrance of life around the outside of the circuit. But anyway, I am going to conclude this video here. I know it's something that you absolutely love, and it's something that I want to do more in the future as well. So please leave a rating. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below and I'll try and get back to them as soon as possible. Otherwise, please feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. I shall hopefully see you soon, guys. Take care.